Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, and Barak the Yahushai. Do more praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, double honors to apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth pushing this truth. So today's a new federal holiday known as Juneteenth. I know people out here, celebrating it, but what is, Juneteenth? Basically, it says a holiday commemorates the effective end of slavery in the United States. But we're still not free. At the end of the day, yeah, that physical yoke may have been taken off our necks, but that mental yoke, curses, they're still on us. So we're not free until Yahweh Shai comes back and gets us out of here, man. Yahweh Shai comes back and establishes the second covenant and establishes his kingdom on the planet Earth. That's when we will truly, be free. We'll truly be a sovereign people. But you're seeing this picture right here, a group of Jakes, Israelites, recently freed. Yeah, a group of formerly enslaved people at a wharf during the American Civil War. They were newly freed, but they were probably worse off, during Reconstruction, during Jim Crow that came years later, even up to this very day. We're still not free. We still have to deal with injustice. And we still have to deal with going to the enemy of the one of all things and being at the tail of a society. So yeah, that's why we have to, it's a blessing to be in this truth, because that way you can understand the curses, as well as you understand the blessings and the blessings that are to come, the blessings that Yahweh Shai is going to come. He is the deliverer, man. Scripture say that no man shall buy you, man. No man is going to save you, redeem you in this thing, man. That's why all the Jake leaders, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, little organizations, Black Panther Party, that's why they all fell and collapsed. No man is going to get you up out of this. This is a situation that we're in until the Lord returns and gets us out of this captivity, that we're in. Yahweh Shai. That's why you look forward and hastening to the coming of the day of the Lord. We look forward to it, man. Because that's the only way, we're going to get our sovereignty back, our freedom, our, mental freedom back, being a people again, having dignity, not being at the bottom of a society. But here's some key facts. Juneteenth marks June 19th, 1865, when enslaved Texans learned they were free, more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah, so America's about to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, 1776. So, we were still enslaved. We were enslaved, physical slavery, during that time when America was established. The celebration begins in Texas and spread nationwide, becoming a federal holiday in 2021. Juneteenth honors freedom, resilience, and Black history, while recognizing the ongoing fight for equality. Hence the ongoing fight. It's something that's going to on-go. You're not considered equal in this place. Here in Babylon the Great, you're not going to be considered equal. You're equal to Esau. You ain't gonna get no self-defense, convictions or acquittals. Killing Edomite and going away, man. That's in the scriptures. But yeah, there is no equality on this side. The ongoing fight until Yahweh Shai comes and establishes dominance. Lord said he setteth up kings and he takes down kings, right? So you want the Lord to come back to establish Israelite dominance on the planet Earth, man. Juneteenth is short for June 19th. It marks the day when federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas in 1865 to take control of the state to ensure that all enslaved people be freed. The troops' arrival came a full 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. Uh, Although Confederate General Robert E. Lee had surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia, April 1865, slavery had remained relatively intact in Texas. That is until U.S. Major General Gordon Granger stood on Texas soil and read General Orders Number 3. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with the proclamation of the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of it, but the end of slavery in Juneteenth, freedom for more than 250,000 enslaved people in Texas. Celebrations broke out among newly freed black people. Yeah, celebrating what, You got lynchings to come, man. You got more lynchings, more death, more inequality. It was just waiting for them, so they weren't free. But, why did we have to go through this? Because we disobeyed the Lord, man. Ezekiel 5:5. Thus saith the Lord power, this is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her. And she have changed my judgments into wickedness more than the nations. Become more wicked than the wicked man. My statutes more than the countries that are round about her. For they have refused my judgments and my statutes, and have not walked in them. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, because ye multiplied more than the nations that are round about you, and have not walked in my statutes, neither have kept my commandments, neither have done according to the judgments of the nations that are round about you. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, I, even I, am against thee, and will execute judgments in the midst of thee, in the sight of the nations. So yeah, man, we get plastered all throughout the TV and the evening news about the judgments that you received. That's coming from the Lord, man. Getting shot in the back by an Asian, then have the Asian get off, do a self-defense. That's coming from the Lord, man. Rightfully deserved. That's why it's important to repent, to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua while you still can, man. The doors of mercy are still open. But Deuteronomy 28:47, part of these curses, man, because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things that we serve not the Lord. We just said that we took his judgments. It says, and she hath changed my judgments into wickedness more than the nations. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and nakedness, and in the want of all things. So up to this very day, man, we have to go to our enemies for the want of all things. For a job, food, clothing, everything we have to go to. We don't control anything on this side, man. Even though we don't have that physical yoke around our necks, we have that mental yoke, around our spirit. We have to completely serve these other nations, man. We have to go to them for the want of all things. Clothing, food, a job, money, everything. So even though we ain't on the plantation getting whipped anymore, we're still on that spiritual plantation, man. Right? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And we are completely destroyed, except for it wasn't for, the remnant, the remnant that the Lord has preserved, the elect, 7,000 men that have not bowed down to Baal, man, until they've destroyed we, man. And we are completely destroyed if it wasn't for, the remnant. The nations are confederates, not just Esau, all these nations, They said, let us cut them off from being a nation, right? Just jumping down to verse 68, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So obviously, that's, you can close the book on that one, on who the real Israelites are, man. Bring thee into Egypt again. So you're talking about the first Egyptian captivity. So about this Egyptian captivity here in America. Egyptian meaning bondage, and ships. Well documented that the Israelites went into slavery on cargo slave ships, for the southern kingdom. The Apocrypha breaks down the northern kingdom. I think it's 2nd or 13th chapter, and how they got over here. So there should be no question in 2026 who the true Israelites are, man. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right? No man's going to redeem us, save us. Martin Luther King Jr. couldn't do it. He went to his grace and saying that he led his people to a burning house, man. In the Hebrew word there is kanah. It means to get, acquire, buy, possess, redeeming his people, acquiring wisdom, recover. No man's going to recover us. No man's going to redeem us, to save us, man, except for Yahweh Shai. That's his name, He is the deliverer, right? See, the whole point of this lesson, Jeremiah 28 or Jeremiah 8:20, the harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved, man. So we're not saved, man. We're not free. We're not saved. So what is Juneteenth, man? It was created to recognize how, we were free from physical slavery, but we're still under oppression. We're still under our enemies. All these nations, man. We're still not free out here, man. There's going to come a day. All right, there is going to come a day. Zephaniah 3:19. I'll start at 18. Zephaniah 3:18. And I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And at that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. The gathering is happening now, man. Gathering of the elect, that is. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. Then, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. So there's going to come a day that we're going to celebrate to where we truly are free, man. So we're going to say no longer we're going to celebrate the Egyptian captivity, but that day when the Lord delivereth his children out of the land of the north. Brutally paraphrase that, but yeah, it's going to be a new high holy day, man. The real high holy, not this Juneteenth, man, that doesn't really mean anything. It's actually more insulting than it is. I had a group of people in Texas that were, after the slaves were legally free, you still have these guys that were still in slavery. That's somewhat offensive, Flip that to the NLT. It says, I'll gather you who mourn for the appointed festivals, You will be disgraced no more, and I will deal severely with all who have oppressed you. The Lord's going to deal severely. It's going to come a time when you're going to get that revenge. Slavery, right now, this time that's coming up, this last bit of hell that we have to go through, that's for you Israelites, man. It's time of Jacob's trouble, hour of temptation. All that's for you Israelites. You'll be like a madman sparing none, but still spoiling those that fear the Lord. Right? That day is coming. But the Lord's gonna, we just read, and I will deal severely with all who have oppressed you. So that time is coming when you're gonna get your revenge on the other nations, man. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, right? 1,000 years in the kingdom to get these other nations right now, we got that one last hurdle that we gotta deal with, man. And I will save the weak and helpless ones, and I'll bring them, and I will bring together those who were chased away, and I'll give glory and fame to my former exiles, wherever they have been mocked and shamed. We're definitely being mocked and shamed on this side. On that day, I will gather you together, bring you home, wherever, to Israel, really the whole planet Earth, man. We're going to inherit the lands of all these nations, And I'll give you a good name, a name of distinction among all the nations of the earth. And as I restore your fortunes before your very eyes, I, the Lord, have spoken. So that day is coming, man. Look forward and hastening into the coming of the day of the Lord, no matter what, man. I'll save her that halteth. Let's see what that word means. That halteth, where there's a shalai, means to limp, be lame. To limp, to be lame. Yeah, all of them that are lame, have disabilities, they're damaged. I will save her that halteth, that's damaged, that's lame. Gather her that was driven out, were scattered amongst all nations. And I'll give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At the time I'll bring you again, even at the time that I will gather you, for I will make you a name and praise among all the people of the earth. Yeah, they're all going to bow down to the Israelites, man. And turn back your captivity before your eyes, save the Lord. And last is a Baruch 5:1. Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Lord, the Most High, forever. Yeah, so put off that mourning and affliction, man. I don't be walking around here with no woe was me spirit, that day is coming, man. You have the truth, you have the understanding. So now you just have to put in the work and endure. Unto the very end, the same shall be saved. Just put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Most High forever. The word comely is decent, suitable, proper to the time, place, circumstances, or person, proper to the time. And we're in that time now, to where we have this understanding. And that's the glory of the Lord, man. The breath of the Lord, that understanding of the truth. So put on that comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Most High forever. Cast about thee a double garment with the righteousness that cometh from the Most High. And set a diadem on thy head of the glory of the everlasting. For the Most High will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven. Yeah, the Lord's going to make you shine across all countries. We just read it. He says, at that time I will bring you, back in Zephaniah 3:20. Yeah, at that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gathered you. For I'll make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes. So we'll say he's going to make you a name and a praise in the earth. We just read in Baruch. The Lord will show your brightness, thy brightness, unto every country under heaven. So your light's gonna shine, man. You're gonna shine, you know. For thy name shall be called of the Most High forever. The peace of righteousness and the glory of the Most High's worship. Arise, Jerusalem, stand on high, and look toward the east. Yeah, toward the east. That's where the Lord's going to come back. You know, as the Lord left, in like manner he shall return in that chariot. He's going to come back in that fathership, and from the east, just like when he first appeared unto Jerusalem, to Israel, and Mount Sinai over there in the east. The chariot first popped up, you know, gave Israel the laws, statutes through Moses. You know, Mount Sinai is over in the east. So he's going to come back in the east. Behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Most High, of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of the Most High. So yeah, the gathering from the west, most of the gathering is going to take place where? Here in the west, western, in America. The west, man. This is where, you know, majority of other deliverance is going to take place. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of Israelites around the world being delivered. The majority of the gathering is going to take place here in the West, man. This is the focus here in Babylon the Great, in America. And behold, the children gathered from the west unto the east by the word. So it was gathered by the word first. The word was put up on the internet, taught, and the elect was gathered. You know, the ones that were called through the internet, all around the planet Earth, man. You know, they're still being woken up, man, because destruction hasn't come yet. Because the Lord said he's going to hold back the winds, the destruction, until the servants have been sealed into their foreheads. So once all the elect has heard the word, that's when that destruction is going to come. But soon it's going to be a physical gathering of the elect beamed up, delivered from the west unto the east, and brought back to the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of the Most High. Yeah, you know. But yeah, that's it, you know. So right now, we're still, you know, in our captive state, you know. But there will be a new high holy day, man. You know, there will be a new high holy day that's going to be legitimate and true unto our freedom, you know. But with that, you know, shalom.